What's up, guys? Letting some people roll in here, but good to see you. Quick Fox, Alan, and maybe that's Clarissa. I don't know. Maybe. What's up, KL? I'll just keep it at KL. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. And welcome to Stock Watch Sunday. If you're visiting for the first time, welcome to Own the Chaos. This channel is dedicated to all things stock market related. The world of business and finance is a crazy and chaotic place, so I've made it my mission to help you own it. So if you want to see more content such as this, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. I certainly would appreciate it. It would help this channel grow. And actually, guys, we're so close to 10K. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my bones. It's pretty awesome. About 40 people away from 10K. It's not exactly the same path as everybody else's, and in a lot of cases, I would still be considered small time. But you know what? It's a pretty cool milestone for me, and I'm pretty happy that I finally get to cross that 10K mark. So definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully, that happens within the next couple of days or so. We'll see. I think we can get 40 people to subscribe, right? So lots to go over today. We have not really much on the penny stock side, if I'm honest with you. I got one that we'll go over, but then there's a couple of other ones to look at on the big board side, and so definitely look over that. Plenty of opportunities to make money this week on a few earnings plays, as well as some continuations from weeks past, moving into December. So I think there's going to be a lot of good opportunities there for you guys to make some really good money, whether you want to do long-term investing, you want to do some short day trading. I'll give you some opportunities as far as that's concerned. But just letting some folks roll in here as just give it a few minutes, let some more people come in. So let me say hey to some folks here. What's up, Hope? Sally, yeah, we can certainly look at that for sure. UAVS, no problem. What's up, Randy? Good to see you, Shark 181. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Good to see you, man. So like as I was saying, if you guys want to give this a thumbs up as you're coming in, I certainly would appreciate the likes. And then also, if you could subscribe, if you're not already subscribed already, we're 40 away from 10K. So yeah, also, as well as to go along with the stocks that I'm watching this week, if you guys want to check out our Cyber Monday sale as well, we're doing a 50% sale, 50% off sale, the entire website. So if you are interested in checking out a mentorship, if you're interested in checking out one of our awesome courses that we provide that can help you learn how to day trade or invest and maybe potentially do this for a living, or maybe just create that side income, 50% off is crazy. We have mentorships as low as $15 and only as high as around $25. So it's a great opportunity. And the courses are half off. So go check those out. It's only going to be available through Monday, and I'll show you some details on that as well in just a sec. What's going on, Eunice? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm gonna pull one more thing up here as well. Yep. Okay. Perfect. So just letting some more people. What's up, Calibra? Good to see you. Talking about BS and Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. What a game. If you guys are fans of football, man, that 49ers Ravens game was awesome. It was good to see. I was super pumped for that game. Even if we lost that game, it would still suck, but it'd be like, man, at least it was a hard-fought game, and there was nothing really you could say bad about it. It was just a really great game. Justin Tucker, is he not the best kicker ever in the NFL? Greatest of all time. Pretty awesome. What's up, Joe? Good to see you, man. Tammy, good to see you. Money flooding and watching markets to roar tomorrow. We'll see. Right now, futures are actually down tonight, but obviously a lot can change between now and then. But yeah, I would agree with you. There are varied opinions on SBES. Could you give yours? Yeah, absolutely. Certainly be happy to do that in just a sec. What's going on, Jay Kaz? Joe, good to see you. Stock Watch Sunday. That's right. That's right. I like that. I like that, Hank. I like it. All right. So we're about 5 minutes in. Got all the pleasantries out of the way. So there's not much in the way of penny stocks that is really out there, guys. It's been really tough in the OTC. I've made it kind of my mission to be a little bit more selective as far as over-the-counter penny stocks are concerned. And there just really hasn't been a whole lot out there. So we've been looking at things, alternatively. I think there's a lot of reasons why the OTC markets aren't doing so well. And people like to make arguments that yes, they are, no, they aren't. But listen, the reality of it is that they're not doing well. They're just really not. And, I'm sure there's plenty of opinions out there about it, but really the only ones that are really running are the ones that just a bunch of groups get together and run. There's very few out there that actually have legitimate catalysts to them. And you can make an argument for that or not, but that's really what it comes down to. But I will give my opinion on SBES. I think that's the only one that really seems to be steady as she goes. And obviously, I've already talked about the risk that's involved with SBES, but I'll give you my technical analysis as it relates to SBES, and then you can assess that risk however you want. But really, that's kind of the only one right now that I really like, and that I would tell people to actually watch to make a potential trade on. Everything else, there's just not much out there lately. But like I said, we'll go over SBES, why I still see value in that one, and that where it could potentially go from here. And then we can look at some other ones as well. If you guys have stocks that you would like me to look at, I certainly would be happy to look at them, go over some DD or due diligence, if you will, to see if there's definitely any potential. More than happy to do that. The only thing I ask is if you could give me some sort of direction to go into. Lots of times people like to just slap tickers up in the chat, and that's all fine and dandy. But if you can give me some sort of direction, why do you see value in it? So that it gives me some sort of direction to go to. Why do you see value in it? And then I can kind of give you an appropriate response. So if you guys could do that, I certainly would appreciate it. And yeah. So just to get this out of the way, FELPU, yeah, we can still look at that one. I still see value in that one. That's my fault. There's still FELPU, but I've talked about it at length now quite a bit. So didn't want to rehash the entire thing about it. But all right, let me switch over and share my screen with you guys. So if you guys aren't familiar with this is part of our Cyber Monday sale. We don't really promote it a whole lot, which I probably should change. There's very few people that can represent the OTC or even just stock market trading in the form of just like a t-shirt. So if you want to support We Trade HQ, if you want to support this channel, we do sell t-shirts, and there's a Cyber Monday sale going on for that. So this one I'm a pretty big fan of. I like the slap that ask one. That one's pretty cool, but there's all kinds of other really cool ones as well. So if you want to go check that out, they're 30% off for Cyber Monday. That whole merchandise sale is, part of Cyber Monday. Everything's on sale right now, and then the sale will end on Monday. Want to go check that out? If you are interested on how to find that, the links are in the description, or you could go to WeTradeHQ.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom and click on merch and check that out. So that's the merch sale. And then again, the entire website on We Trade HQ, all of our mentors, 50% off, all of them. Courses are 50% off as well. So if you are not a part of the We Trade HQ community, you can go and check that out. And I'll show you here. I just logged out for you guys so I could show this to you. But you could everything. There's no code, nothing like that to go check out. If you want to just it's the whole site. The whole site's 50% off, $25. You can get the monthly mentorship for $25. You literally could get this for less than it costs you to go out with, your significant other for dinner. So if you want to sacrifice one night out for dinner a month to change your financial future, come check out We Trade HQ. Sign up for one of our mentors. It doesn't have to be me. It could be any of them. They all have their own strengths, or, it's so cheap you could sign up for more than one. So go check it out. It'll be valid through midnight tomorrow night. And yeah, last thing as far as Cyber Monday is related, and I promise I'll get to the stock stuff, is TradeNet. Just want to get this out of the way. If you go to WeTradeHQ.com and you can click on this link here, you can get a significantly decreased discount because you are a We Trade HQ member. And if you want to check this out, again, so they said that Black Friday was the deadline for their sale, but they are still continuing this for We Trade HQ members. You want to check this out. The intro program, $335, gets you a $14,000 funded account that you can trade with zero PDT issues. So you don't have to worry about PDT, none of that stuff. Go check it out. So at WeTradeHQ.com for your TradeNet accounts. So there you go. There you have it. Those are everything that I'm talking about as far as sales goes. But, you know, I really hate talking about that kind of stuff, but it is what it is. Everybody loves the sale. Everybody loves, you know, Cyber Monday type stuff. So I got to go over it. It is what it is. But, yeah, I really should promote the t-shirt stuff more though. I didn't realize how much people really, you know, like that kind of stuff, but, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So for sure, George, for sure. So it'll be $25 per month for the first month, and then it goes back to $49.99. So it's just a good opportunity to give you the opportunity to check it out. All right, so moving on. The first stock that I'm watching, obviously we already kind of touched on this, but it's SBES. So SBES, we're still waiting on the absolute confirmation. We're still waiting on PR, some sort of filing that comes out that says that, yes, that Rocky SaaS is the company merging into. So Rocky SaaS, if you guys aren't familiar with this, I went over this a couple weeks ago. Gosh, I've been talking about SBES for a while now, actually since the trips, which is why you should be tuning into every Stock Watch Sunday because, you know, it just spits out winners, guys. SBES, it's gone from the trips. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm the first one to call us out because I really wasn't. And I don't really care if I was or I wasn't at all. If it made you money, great. But we've talked about SBES since the 000. Since 000, I don't know, 6, 7, somewhere around there. 007. And all it's done is gone up and, you know, 400 or 500% since then. And so it's been an amazing runner. This is the company that's potentially running into this. I'm not ready to confirm that it is or it isn't, but Rocky SaaS, if you guys aren't familiar with what SaaS is, it's software as a service. So if you're not familiar with what software as a service is, think about Workday, which is a publicly traded company. And actually, Workday is having earnings coming out this week. So if you want to go check that out, Workday has earnings coming out. Or Zoom, for example. Zoom is actually the software as a service that I use for our mentorship. I go live via Zoom every day with my folks. It's a great platform. So that's what software as a service is. There's lots of money involved in that. It's said that it's believed that Rocky SaaS is a multi-billion-dollar company or thereabouts that could potentially be merging into SBES. It's actually a Asian company, so it's not American. So it's an Asian company merging in to be able to be publicly traded in America. And so that's why there's a lot of excitement surrounded around SBES. But what I will say is I'm not ready to confirm nor deny that this is actually happening. There's a lot of breadcrumbs that maybe lead to that. And so in my experience in the OTC, sometimes you just got to ride the hype and let it run. It is what it is. I think that if this actually goes through, it will go, crazy. It will go nuts. If it doesn't, it could be a rough day when everybody finds out that this actually isn't the company that runs it, if it actually ends up being the case. But going back to some of the due diligence here, just looking at the share structure, this is why it's been moving so well. If these share structure numbers are anywhere close to what they are now, then that's why it's been moving so well. We haven't seen any kind of dumping. All this thing does is go up, and really on relatively low volume. This is still going up very nicely. And there hasn't been like this giant surge of volume. We haven't really seen a nice surge of volume since back when it was in the 000s. And then when it went back up, it's been holding its gains very, very nicely. It went all the way up to, let's go back here to about 006, up over 006. It's been making an amazing move. And I think that based off of the chart here, that it's holding its gains very well and holding a really nice support at right at 0050. 0050 flat, holding a very nice support there. And really, if this bounces off of this support in this coming week, I don't really see, if we go back to the daily chart, I really don't see another resistance. I have it marked here. Let me go back here. Yeah, I don't really see another resistance till way back here. You'd have to go way back in the chart, but at 008. So maybe this makes a nice little move. But again, we call it Stock Watch Sunday for a reason. And so I think this is definitely one that's worth continuing watching. It's really, really risky to be buying it up here this high, especially coming from the trips. But what I do like, and what I mentioned before, is that I think that it really is holding very well, given where it's come from. Usually when you see moves like this, it just goes straight up or straight down. But it's been making a gradual move up. If you look at this 30-minute chart, obviously in the last several days, it's been making a monster move. But, coming from the triple zeros, I would call this gradual. And so if it can hold this 0050 support very well, look for this bounce. And, maybe if you don't yet have a position here, that would be the area that I would look to create a position. But again, like I said, just consider the risk here, given where it's come from and where it's at right now. It has some room to fall if it can't hold these gains. So just be cognizant of that. But again, if you see that bounce, then it could definitely bounce all the way up to 008. And if it breaks 008, look out. Pennyland is abound on us. I think this is a very strong mover. And like I said, this is one of the very few ones in the OTC that I really like, just because of how well it's actually held its gains up to this point. So just keep that in mind. I like SBES, and that's kind of really the only one that I'm watching OTC wise. I hate to say that, but it's just it's tough out there. It's tough out there in the OTC right now. I love the OTC. I will never leave 100% the OTC, but it's really tough. And SBES right now is the only one that I really kind of can be confident about talking about further moves up on this thing. So. George, MDMP. So that's a very good question. So I see Gabriel, MDMP. Here's my opinions on MDMP. And I'll show you my evidence in just a second. MDMP, people are buying this up for all of the wrong reasons. The well that they're digging up or digging into is a dry well. They had a PR that came out, talked about MDMP, yeah, it's a rocket, okay? But people are buying it up for the wrong reason. And so that's why it's actually not on my watch list this week. And that's why I didn't buy it. I have a lot of friends that are into the oil industry, and we'll get into why I'm talking about with this in a second. And I'm glad you brought this up, but I really just don't see the value in MDMP. If you want to ride that wave because everybody's riding that wave and you can just ride the hype, so be it. Maybe it continues to go to 10, 11 cents. We'll see. It's got a small enough share structure, and it is what it is. I wasn't going to talk about MDMP unless somebody asked me about it. So you asked me about it, so I'm just going to give you my opinion. It's very rare that I talk about stocks in this manner, but given the share structure, it doesn't take much for a couple of groups to get together and run something like this because the float's so tiny, and they can spin the story however they want. But the fact of the matter is that when a company talks about a 23 barrel yield on a dry well, it's nothing. It's about $10,000 worth of oil that comes out of that well, and it probably isn't enough to really even cover the cost of them trying to dig out that well. They've been getting oil out of that well since the 60s. Went all the way back, and I got proof to show that. So let me show you here in a second. So I have this all pulled up. Here's MTMP's share structure. This is my point here. 24 million afloat. And here's this is the World Oil magazine talking about the exact area in which MDMP is trying to get oil from, and it's not good. 400 jobs have been lost. First 10 months of the year. And this just came out, by the way. Just came out on the 28th. Massive change from the 16,700 jobs added through the same period last year, according to a report Wednesday from Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas. So it's not looking good for this area. I don't know why people love this news. Here is the results of this oil well, just to kind of give you, perspective. They've been pulling oil out of this well for quite some time, and it's been minimal. Just to give you an example here, just to give you an example on the oil wells, a traditional oil well is going to pull you 100 barrels a day, right? This is pulling out 23. So it's not even producing enough to really even pay for itself yet. Is this stock going to continue to run? Probably. But that's because there's enough people out there that are spinning this to make it some crazy positive outcome, but it really isn't. Nothing's happened. And there's nothing that leads me to believe that anything is going to happen with this well. I think that the stock's going to go straight up and come straight down. And at this point, especially as much as it's ran already, the last one out is going to be a rotten egg. So that's my thoughts on MDMP. And I'm sorry to say that, but people ask me my opinions and I'm just going to give them on that. So that's my opinion on MDMP. You can hate me for it, but that's just the truth. And those are the facts. So that's why I just chose to stay away from it. And I wouldn't suggest anybody buying into it right now, especially even if it runs. It's only going to run because there's just enough hype surrounded around it. And there's a good enough share structure to where it's just going to be a good old pump and dump. So, Slim Dan says just a float run. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, Big Apostle, and I think, again, if you're in it and you made some money on it, good for you. I'm not going to come down on anybody for making any money on it, but I'm just saying that I don't like it, and that's kind of why I don't like it. And if it continues to run, so be it. If you can make some money on it, ride the hype train, go for it. But, I'm just, that's just my opinion on it. So that's my opinion on that one. Hearing might be a change of control this week on NVGT. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on NVGT, Slim Dan. It's been a little bit rocky on that one, but definitely a good one to bring up for sure. Exactly, Big Apostle for sure, 100%. UAVS, yeah, Sally Davis. I'll get to UAVS in just a sec. Let me get through the last run of the big board stocks, and then I'll hit that up with you as well. So let me go ahead and switch back over, share my screen here with you. So the next one's actually going to be, we're going to switch over to big boards here. So a little bit of a price difference here as far as the price of stock is concerned. Alibaba. Baba was just started trading on the Hong Kong exchange, and it's been doing very, very well. And it's been translating over to the New York Stock Exchange. So me and my mentorship group have been trading this one. It's been doing very well. Broke through that key 200 resistance and is holding so far. So we'll see how this goes. If this continues to break over 200, and I had to come all the way back out here to kind of show you that 200 was that really strong resistance. If it breaks 200, we could see this move to 205 very nicely. And we saw that later in the day on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and then on Friday as well. So it's making some really nice moves as far as Baba is concerned. And so I really like the fact that it's holding above 200. So look for Baba to continue to move. I don't see why there's any reason to believe that Baba is going to continue to come down, barring some sort of catastrophic catalyst. We'll see how this goes, but I think that Alibaba definitely makes some new highs on this one, and I think this was going to be a perfectly good one to play through it until the end of the year. Most of your bigger board stocks like this one that actually impact the way that the rest of the market moves, such as your Apples, and we're going to talk about Disney in a second because I love that one as well. But a lot of these are looking very strong and towards the end of the year. So if you're looking to day trade them, there's plenty of, like I said, getting in that 200 level and then going back up to around 205 is that next area of resistance. It allows for a really great day trade setup. But also, if you're looking for some longer term investing, this is definitely one to take a look at. The next one's going to be Disney. Like I just spoke to, Disney's been holding very well up above 150. I talked about Disney at length when it was down into the 130s, right? Talked about it when it was in the 130s. They came out with great earnings, and then they came out with Disney Plus. Has had nothing but positive momentum going on with Disney. And I said, once it breaks 150, look out. I think Disney continues to go. Let's see if this can't even get to about 175, maybe 200 range before the end of the year. I say 175, Disney gets there before December 31st. We'll just keep an eye on this one, but it's been holding its support very well at 150. So even if you're looking for day trading opportunities, look for it to come down to 150 and maybe have a couple of good bounces into it. We've seen it get as high as around 153.30s And so that's kind of the next area of resistance that we're starting to look to make a nice little break out of. If it can get into 154, 155, we should see some really nice momentum on Disney. If we go back out to the 4-hour chart, you can kind of see that here, that it's pretty high on RSI. I have the RSI pulled up here, but it's following the price action as it should. So it's a little bit overextended if you go back out to the 4-hour chart, but I like the fact that it's holding here at 150s. It's been really cool to kind of like, see what I saw actually start to come to life on Disney. And so it's been holding really well. It's been trading exactly how I anticipated it. And right now, as it stands, I anticipate this to continue to move and see higher highs. And like I said, I think this goes to 175. If you guys haven't seen my Disney video that I put out last week, go check that out. I talk about Disney at length as to why I think that this is definitely a good one for a long-term hold. But again, it gives itself really great opportunities for nice little day trades as well. So be on the lookout for that. Tesla, again, Tesla has been holding very well at this support level, right around 330. I don't think this goes back down to 200s for a while. I think it's been holding very well at 330. Tesla's always been a wild one, right? Sometimes it's kind of like Roku, where it just doesn't care what the rest of the market's doing. It's just going to do whatever it wants to do. But I think that I'm going to remain bullish on Tesla. If you look to get yourself around the 330 area, 329 is right kind of where it closed at yesterday. So right around this area is where it's been holding its support quite well. And so I think that we see a nice little bounce out of this. If we go back out to the 30-minute chart and kind of take a look, you can really see that maybe there were some brief moments where it came back down below 330. But I think that it's just holding so strong here at these levels. Even when you come back down to this, it kind of closed its gap right here at 326 and just came right back up. So that's why I'm saying 330 is going to be a good spot for it to continue to trade from that area as far as support's concerned. Now, again, on the flip side of this, just keep an eye on it and watch it, because if it breaks 330 for good, then it might lend itself a good shorting position here. But for now, I still say go long on Tesla. I like going long on Tesla. Usually when I end up trying to take shorts on this, it doesn't always work out. And so I always have much better luck with Tesla going long on this one, based off of, this technical analysis here. Just looking at this, 330 definitely looks like a really strong spot for Tesla. Okay. Last one's going to be Five Below. Now, I haven't talked about Five Below. I don't know if I've ever talked about this ever on this channel, but the reason why I'm talking about it this week is because they have earnings on Wednesday. So looking to play this into earnings and then seeing what happens after earnings. So I think that we see a nice move from Five Below going into the earnings on Wednesday. Just pull this up from WeTradeHQ. So if you guys aren't on WeTradeHQ yet, first of all, I highly suggest you do so. Second of all, it provides so many good resources for free. So I went over to the news section here, pulled this up to show you guys that Five Below is expected to potentially just kind of fall within their expected earnings. So it may not do much, but here's the thing for me. I think that because Target, Walmart, all the Best Buy, all these other retail stores that have been doing so well, first of all, I love the fact that that's happening, because I thought for the longest time that Amazon was just going to take over the world, and they still might. It's a slow death, I'm sure, but I like the fact that people are still going to these brick and mortar retail stores and just buying up goods, because it's good for the economy. It shows that we have a strong economy. All of these big companies, these box store companies, have been doing well. And so I think that Five Below ends up following the trend here. I think we're pleasantly surprised. And so there's other good opportunities that this provides as far as trading is concerned. So if you're looking at this, just from a strict day trading perspective, look for it to right now it's being traded at 123. So look for it to actually hold up above 123, or maybe come back down and bounce off of around 120 and then start to approach to new highs, especially if this comes out with better than expected earnings. Look for this start to get to the 130 range, depending on how good those earnings are. People love the fact that these big box stores are doing so well. So be on the lookout for this. I think Five Below actually ends up surprising us. So this is kind of the wild card that I'm watching. Every time I talk about wild cards, it usually ends up working out pretty well. It's pretty rare that they don't. So just be on the lookout for this one. Five Below, definitely one to keep on the watch list this week. And that is going to be it as far as the ones that I am watching. So now I can get to some of the ones that you are watching, and I'll be happy to give you my opinion on those. So Let's see. Shop. Yeah, Shop is definitely a good one. Thoughts on Coke? We can get on that one, KL. Maybe Amazon will take over empty Kmart's. Yeah, maybe they will. But I want to get back to Sally. So Sally was asking about UAVS. I'd be happy to do that one. UAVS, Sally, for sure. Yeah. Let's take a look. So UAVS, she said that this one is unmanned UAV or something like that, or a drone type of company. You can take a look at that. Yeah, so the chart right now, it's starting to look like it's starting to make a decent turn up. Previously, it just looked like it was nothing but red. It showed no signs of going up here, but it's actually broken over pretty decent resistance here. So this one's a penny stock. UAVS, let's take a look at this one. Is this an OTC? It might be. Let's take a look. No, it's not. So this is a NASDAQ one. UAVS, let's take a look here. This is what I wanted. Any news coming out on this one? Israel, so it was Israel-based drone industry, but okay, let's see here. Okay. Looking at the chart, again, I like it. As far as the chart's concerned, it's definitely making a nice little trend up on a daily. Let's come back out this way. It's already moved a lot, though. So, Sally, I mean, it's pretty risky at this point. It's already moved a lot. Going on the daily chart, obviously, it's making a pretty nice trend. Oops, let's come back out this way. It's making a pretty nice trend so far. So, based off of the chart, it actually looks good. But I don't know. It's going to be a tough one to kind of like determine where would be a good entry at this point. If you're not in UAVS already, I don't know if I would suggest getting in it now. So be on the lookout for this one, Sally. As far as risk is concerned, I think it's a little bit risky at this point. I don't know if I would really hop in here unless you start to see this continuing. If you see the momentum really starting to break above, I would say right here around 76 cents, 75 cents seems to be that next area of resistance right here. So let's zoom in on this one. So if we come back out to this area right here, actually that's more like 80 cents. So 80 cents seems to be like the next area of resistance. So look for this to move up and maybe touch 80, but be careful getting in at this area because it's already ran so much. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful with this one. It's definitely a good one to bring to the table for sure, but I don't know if I would get in right at this point in time only because it's already come up so far from its bottom support at 22. And the likelihood that this is going to go all the way back up to where it was back in the good old days is probably slim to none. So, but on the other hand, definitely keep an eye on it. If it breaks 80, it could definitely continue to move up, and there's really nothing stopping it until it gets to around $1 or so. So be on the lookout for UAVS. Definitely a good one to bring to the table. I hope that helps. And moving on to the next one. Thoughts on KO? Big Apostle. I can take a look at that one. Let me take a look at Coke here real quick first. And then I'll get back to yours. So looking at Coke here, Coke's always kind of like an old reliable. If you guys ever wanted to just invest long-term and put something in a long-term portfolio, look at this. This is a daily chart all the way from 2012. Coke's done very well. Obviously, there's plenty of dips on Coke, but you know it's always been kind of like old reliable. And you can go back and look at this one on a monthly perspective, and it's just this is the month chart, and all it does is go up. Obviously has dips. It's just your typical chart, but Coke's always been a good one to do long-term investing in. So I'm not quite sure what you're looking to do with Coke, KL, but if you're looking for opportunities to day trade this is one that's like steady as she goes, slow and drawn out. So yeah, you can make a decent day trade on this one, but it's going to be a grinder. It's going to be a long one to develop. Which may be what you're looking for. But looking at this one, this has a decent support area around $51, which is really kind of no shock. You're looking at this right now as where it sits at 53.40. You can look and see that it's got a pretty decent resistance right around, let's see, $54, $55. Let's go back up to 54. So right around here. Looks to be the next area of resistance. So right now we're kind of like in the middle. So look for this to come back down to potentially to the 51 area or $50 area. You can make a case for maybe about 52, somewhere around there. But really, I think it probably ends up coming back down here before it starts to make another move back up. But again, you'll have to watch and wait and see. If it doesn't and starts to actually turn back up on you, look for it to break around $55, $54.70. Seems to be a decent area for resistance, so look for that. And this is, again, on the daily chart. So for me, I'm looking at this from a longer-term type of trade, longer-term swing trade. Coke would probably one I'd stay away from as far as day trading is concerned because it just moves so slow. It's not your typical quick in and out day trade type stock. And again, just my own opinion. I'm sure plenty of people could make a living off of daily trading Coke, but you could retire off of trading Coke as well if you invested enough in it and just let it go and didn't even worry about where it was going at the time. So Coke's definitely a good one. Keep an eye on that one. I hope that helps and answers some questions for you. Alrighty. CLVS continuation. Yeah, CLVS, what a monster that was. We can take a look at that one if you'd like, Jeff. Shop's a good one. We'll look at that one as well. But SFET. Let's take a look. That one's an OTC. I'm pretty certain of that. No, it's not. I thought it was. This one's another penny stock, technically. We go to the 30-minute chart. Oh, I'm not crazy about this one. This one already went up. Then I think we played this one last week, maybe. Mentorship folks, if you guys are around, let me know. I think we did play this one. I don't know if there's much hope for this one now. Came out with good news. Was a nice run, but this chart looks ugly for one. If you're playing SFET now, gosh, you got to wait till some volume shows up on this one. I don't know. This will probably be one that if risk is not your friend, maybe stay away from SFET for now until you see some sort of catalyst. Keep it on the watch list. See if some volume shows up, but keep an eye on that one. Nice, Big Apostle. Nice one. Yeah, that was a nice trade. All right, moving on. Shop. So Tammy has a question about Shop. And she says, let's see here. Tammy's one that I always picked on because it was like a year ago. She made fun of she didn't make fun of it, but she said something about my eyebrows. So I always pick on her about it. But broke sales record on Friday. Okay. Let's see here. So 335. I bet you thought I forgot about that, Tammy. I bet you thought I forgot about it. I did not forget. I will always remember Tammy. It's too funny. All right. 335.50 resistance at 345. I like it. So let's see here. 335. Bring out the old line here. 335. Okay, so yeah, right around here. And then you said 335.50 and then 345. So let's bring another one at 345. Right around here. I like that. I think that's a really good observation there. So what I would do, right now it closed at 336. So yeah, I mean, you could make a case for potentially it coming all the way back down to maybe even around 332. If it, one way or the other. I like it better around 332, to be honest with you, as far as support's concerned. And again, I'm looking at the daily chart, so I'm not quite sure which chart you're looking at, but I'm just going off the daily. I like 332 a little bit better. And then, but I do agree with you that 345 definitely looks like a good resistance. So if it breaks up above, so it breaks one way or the other. So if it breaks down below 332 and can't hold that support, then that's probably when you would want to go short bias all the way down to about 314 area. And then if it breaks back up above 345, then you probably should see a nice continuation to maybe about 350, 358, maybe somewhere around there, or maybe even as low as 356. So that's how I would probably approach shop, just going off of support and resistances here. And yeah, that's how I would approach that one. Alrighty. Yeah, I mean, that would make me happy too. Chase Kern. Very, we'll see. We'll see, Tammy. We'll see. But Kern Chase, that's a really good one. I actually had this up. I thought that potentially I was going to watch this one or put this one on the list. And why not? Let's take a look at this one. So Kern, it always seems to want to kind of go up, and it never really kind of holds any of its gains. But again, this is on the daily chart, and this has been seeing some interesting volume over the last couple of days compared to even the whole entire year. We haven't seen this kind of volume on Kern since June of this year. Since June of this year, we haven't seen a move like this. Went all the way up to $70 last time I had this kind of volume. And if you're looking at the daily chart here, it certainly looks like it's bottomed out. When a good friend of ours, a great trader, I like BB stock within our morning mentorship or within our daily mentorship, called this one out well below $5, and it's been doing very well for a lot of our folks who've been trading this one. It's tough to say where it's going to go right now. It looks like it's got some pretty good momentum on it, and maybe a resistance around, I would say, $8.80, somewhere around there. If it breaks up over that, look for it to potentially break up over 10. I think 10 is going to be the toughest resistance for it. So if it breaks over $10, we could definitely be on to the races. If it breaks $10 this week, look out for Kern. I think we see a nice move out of that one. But if it doesn't, the thing with Kern is liquidity. The spread's a little bit crazy on this one, and it doesn't trade very nicely. You can see it's pretty choppy on the daily chart, but nevertheless, it's gone up substantially from around the $3 range all the way up to as high as around $9.60 last week. And so this has been a great one for a lot of our folks and the mentorship as well. So Kern, definitely, thanks for bringing that one up. I wasn't going to talk about it, but since you brought it up, it gave me a good opportunity to do so. So I like Kern. I think that, I don't know if I'll be buying it up at these levels if you haven't traded it already. But again, look for it to break around 880 and look for it to break above 10. If it does break above that, that's when you probably would want to consider maybe taking a position on that one. Just how I would approach it. And yeah. INKW doesn't have a new CEO. It's actually the old CEO, which I'm not happy about. So INKW is what it is. Chris Rogers, doesn't make sense for it to go up because of the Hollies. Not necessarily. It doesn't always follow that trend. You could definitely make a case for that, but not necessarily. There's certainly ones to keep an eye on for sure. ASLN, leukemia cure. ASLN, I think, was a one-hit wonder. I don't know if it continues to go back up, but that's a good question. ASLN. Let's take a look at that. I don't know if this continues. I mean, this went off like a rocket from 40 cents all the way up to around $7.12. I could be wrong, but I don't know if I would suggest anybody buying up into this area after it's already made a move like that. The risk is just too great. It's too high of a risk here. This is a good pullback though. If I'm just going off of the chart, and I'm coming back out to the 30-minute chart here. You're coming out the chart. This is a good pullback. So if it actually starts to move up above or bounce from this 382 area, then maybe you can make a case for making a trade. But for me personally, especially if you're a beginning day trader, this would be one that I would suggest staying away from, just because it's already made such a strong move from its bottom support area that it would be extremely risky. Your risk tolerance would have to be next to nothing on this one. But definitely a good one to bring up. If you're in it, manage your risk accordingly. But yeah, so, well, thanks, Chris. I appreciate it, man. And that's going to be the last one that I end up doing tonight. So if you guys like this video, certainly give it a thumbs up. And again, we're so close to 10,000 subscribers. It's been awesome. It's been a great ride, guys. It's taken me over 2 years to get to this point, but you know what? I wouldn't trade this journey for anything. It's been an amazing experience, and I'm looking forward to the next 10,000 and beyond. So And you guys will be the ones that said, you know what, I've been following that guy since the beginning. So let's keep it going, guys. I certainly appreciate all the support. And again, just a friendly reminder, Cyber Monday, go to WeTradeHQ.com, get 50% off. Get 30% off the shirts to show us some more support. And that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for all your support. I really do appreciate it. I love you guys to death. It's been amazing. So here's the 10K. And like always, guys, I will see you all before the bell. MB Smith is out. Have a good one, guys.